Okay, welcome everybody. David Silverman here in Maryland, outside of Washington, D.C. Welcome to our weekly team get-together, our team meeting. We have it every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're glad you're here. I'm recording this, so if some of your team members are not here, it looks like we got about 38, 40 people on right now. If some of your team members are not on and you find what you hear on here and what you contribute valuable, it is being recorded. Debbie Wetzler is a triple diamond. I'm an ambassador diamond. We have it, like I said, it's called every week. Debbie sponsored me. She went on the Asea Advancing Life humanitarian trip to Ecuador. She just got back, I think, yesterday, but she's traveling from where she landed and going. But I wanted her to share and her daughter what happened on the trip. So they'll do that next week. We have this weekly call to serve several purposes. And one is just to get together, number one. This is a community. This is, believe, belong, become. And this is a chance for all of us to get together and meet every week and just get the 411 on what's going on, share with a 411, hear some recognition of people that have achieved some things, announcements of things that are happening. We welcome new team members and have them introduce themselves, and hopefully their sponsors are on the line to help introduce them so they can get to know us. And we do some training, and today we're going to do training on, I'm going to do some training on three-way phone calls. Some of you may have seen some of what I'm going to talk about, and some may have not. And I've got some YouTube links somewhere with some recordings of very specifics on three-way phone calls because they're just so important. So that's the topic for tonight. We also do Q&A, so if you got questions, you can put them in the chat or just wait until the end and we'll open it up for questions and answers. And we always start with a testimonial, or what most of the time we do. The product's amazing, what it does for people with issues from pain to autoimmune disease, to eye issues, breathing issues, spectrum issues, and it's a miraculous breakthrough, quite frankly. And I am never not amazed by the stories that I hear. And so I want to ask, I asked for a couple people to be on. And by the way, I'm going to talk about the webinars that I'm going to be doing this week. Starting next week, we're going to change the format a little bit, and I'm going to need your help because every webinar I do, I'm not going to do a whole PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to want, hopefully, people to have looked at something. You have your guests look at something before they get on. But I'm going to make sure I have 3 testimonials, 3 experiences with the product to be shared on every single webinar that I do. And I'll do a simple explanation as someone who's on the medical professionals board. But I'm not going to go through a whole PowerPoint. I want to get the most powerful part of this is what you're about to hear. And we all know this. People hearing what this product does for people. And so we'll go into more of that in just a little bit. So I want to find out, is Sylvia Sneed on the line, first of all?
Yes, I am. I'm showing as Sunshine 90.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Let me see if I can find you on my screen. Okay. Sylvia, we met at the Charlottesville event, didn't we?
Yes.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting. Oh, there's your picture. I remember. Yes. And in fact, you won a free bottle, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a tube of Renew 28.
Wonderful. So, Sylvia, would you mind kind of sharing what you were going through and what the product's done for you, for everybody?
Okay. I started taking the product February 2018. I call Asea my gift from God. It didn't come when I would have loved to have had it to get me through 5 surgeries in 5 years or chemical treatments and slow burning treatments that I endured. But I have it now, and it's right here, right now, and that's what's important to me, that I have it now. Asea is making changes in my life right now and gives me great hope for the future. I'm a 2-time survivor of an abnormal cell growth issue. But now, since starting Asea, I run 3 miles a day, and I no longer take 2 to 3 hour naps a day. My aha moment came just last Thursday when somebody asked me, how was I feeling, because I looked better to them. I looked much better. And I told them that I was feeling better and I wasn't feeling like I was thinking through cobwebs. For quite some time, I had been experiencing brain fog. My mind was never clear, and it was very hard to think clearly and concentrate and articulate my thoughts. But I'm grateful for Asea giving me so much of my life back. I'm excited about what the future holds for me as I regain my health and my strength back. I'm determined to share Asea with people that I come in contact with and my family, so that they can experience what I've experienced. That's it in a nutshell.
Sylvia, that's amazing. Thanks so much. And because it's an issue that a lot of people are very fearful of and concerned about, if there's anybody that has a question, would it be okay if they asked you a question?
Sure, I'll try to answer it.
Okay, does anybody have a question for Sylvia? Just unmute your bottom left microphone here if you do.
I'd like to ask how, this is Kathy Murray, how many ounces a day have you been drinking?
I started with the standard dose of 2 ounces twice a day, and then I went to 6 ounces twice a day, and then I got a little gung-ho and I went to 8 ounces twice a day, and that was the breaking point for me. I started to feel some detox symptoms, so for the last few months I've been doing 6 ounces, 3 ounces in the morning, 3 ounces at night, and I've seen the improvements at the 6 ounce dose.
That's wonderful. And you're using the gel too?
Yes, I use the gel on the area, where I had the abnormal cell growth issue. And I use it on the surgical scars because I have quite a few of those. So I use it on the scars. And I did experience, I had a lot of nerves that were cut in the surgery, and I had been numb in certain places on my back for a couple of years. And I did experience where I could feel like my bra strap and stuff again. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I started to scratch there, and I realized, like, oh no, I can feel the scratching because I was completely numb for a long time. So I got like feeling back, and like in the areas where the surgery occurred, there's a lot of places that I can actually feel now. I can actually feel the scar when I touch it. So a lot has changed since using both the liquid and the gel.
Okay. Were all of your abnormal cell issues, were all of them internal, or was any of it external? You mentioned surgery, so I'm assuming some was internal.
Both times it was internal, but I had the surgery to cut through to get to them.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else have a last question for Sylvia? Okay, awesome. Sylvia, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I know you've been on the charge up call, Carolyn told me, and you're really gearing up to share this with people. And hopefully the training tonight will help you a little bit too, to expedite it. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you again. Okay, Danielle Matthews, you're up. I heard you had an event down in Naples, and you saw something happen with the renewed gel when you did the 3 times in 5 minutes. I haven't heard the story yet, so I'm anxious to hear.
Yeah, so we had a group get together in Naples. There's an acupuncturist down there that is excited to be part of the team, and so brought it to her clients. So I went down to do a talk for them, and in true style, had everybody in the room do 3 times in 5 minutes. And what happened was, it was a small enough group, there were about 20 of us. So I had each person kind of stand up and share what had happened for them. So we go around the whole room, and, typical things that we always hear, right? People's neck pain is going down, someone whose joints had been hurting, now they weren't hurting, significant things happening. But we got to the last person. It was a mom and a daughter. And the mom only spoke Spanish. So the daughter is explaining that the mom has had all sorts of trouble with her neck for years, hasn't been able to move it. And she was rubbing the gel on her mom's neck. And, the mom is clearly happy that things have shifted for her, but that wasn't the story. So the daughter then goes, Danielle, I didn't really put it anywhere because I thought I was fine. And then she starts crying. And I was like, really taken aback. And I'm like, what happened? And she said, my hand, it has been numb for 5 years. She said, I have not felt my finger for over 5 years. And that was the hand I was rubbing the Renew on my mom's neck. And she goes, I just put my ring back on my finger and I can feel my finger. And then she started sobbing again. I mean, unbelievable. Like, I've seen so much with the 3 times in 5 minutes that now I like expect it. I'm like, yes, of course that works. But numbness in your hand, 5 years and in 10 minutes, it's back. I mean, just unbelievable. I mean, absolutely unbelievable.
And to think this all started for you, and you're a gold associate now, but to think it all started with you because your mom insisted many times that you get on the product because you had severe head trauma and you couldn't think straight, and they said you weren't going to get any better. And it didn't take you 5 minutes to get better. How long did it take you for all that to clear?
It took 3 months.
3 months. Sure is nice to be able to do that in a few minutes, right?
Unbelievable, yes.
That's awesome. Thanks, Danielle. Does anybody have any questions for Danielle regarding the product experience she saw happen? Okay. Thanks, Danielle. All right. Thank you both for the testimonials, the stories. We just share what we see happen. That's what we do. And as you know, on the Charge Up call every day, Monday through Friday, although not this Wednesday because of July 4th, there's always a product testimonial Monday through Thursday. Friday is a business testimonial because so many people are struggling or settling in this world, and this opportunity allows people to get wherever they want to be. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens for people who are committed, coachable, and persistent. And I know that Danielle is that way, and I can see that Sylvia is because she's really taken the time to be on the Charge Up call every day or listen to the recording and learn how to get better and better at sharing this with people. This being something, it just sounds too good to be true. It sounds like one of those things that sounds like this, sounds like that. These people have no clue how important this is. And so we try to coach people on how to get better and better at getting them to say, hey, I want to try this. Why wouldn't I? Right? Or hey, I'm open to an opportunity. Let me validate the product and I'll get involved with the business, whatever it may be. And that's what we're going to talk about in the training here. So let me just make some announcements at this point real quick. I'm going to share my screen and pull something up, things that are going on this week that you may or may not know about. So I am doing 3 webinars on this week. Tomorrow, I'm doing 2 of them. There is not one tomorrow night. I'll be doing those as there's demand to do those on Tuesday evenings. But tomorrow I'll be doing one, my usual Tuesday morning, product only. Now, there's nothing about the business in this one. It's about product. That's it. Product, health benefits with Q&A. All mine are Q&A afterwards, so people can ask me. If they got to talk to a doctor, I'm there for you every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Yeah, that's Eastern Standard Time, New York time. Same Zoom number, excuse me, as tonight. I'll be doing one at 1 p.m. tomorrow, New York time, Eastern Standard or Daylight Time, which doesn't help Hong Kong very much, or Singapore, as you see. But it works out well for Europe because that's 7 p.m. in Stockholm time. Now that is product and opportunity. Focus on the product. Definitely talk about the opportunity. Thursday morning, I will be at the beach, but I am getting up after 4th of July to do my Thursday morning webinar, 9 a.m. Eastern time. That's 9 p.m. Singapore time, same Zoom number. Thursday evening, July 5th, another Ambassador Diamond, and I talked to Terry the other day, is getting very close to double Ambassador Diamond. He'll be doing a great one at 9 p.m. New York time, Eastern Standard Time. And you can either just go to discoverasea.com, or there's the Zoom number if you want to take a screenshot or a picture of that. These are the live webinars this week. Okay. Now, there are plenty of recorded ones. If you go familiarize yourself with these, You can find ones that you can use whenever you want because you can take people to them. There's one with doctors and health professionals that are recorded, healthprowebinar.com. Password is associate. If you want science information.
Things in chat already.
You're ready to kind of mute their lines if they can. I'm sorry. Let me just see if I've got mute all.
David, this.
Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, Pearl, I lost you. Did you say something?
I did the charge up call this morning and I announced the Thursday night with Terry Latham, but last week it was a telephone number.
I know. Yeah, this week it's a webinar. That's what Trish sent in her newsletter.
Oh man, I pulled up last week's newsletter, so I announced the wrong thing this morning. I hope people get clarification tomorrow.
Okay. Well, okay. So, and then the Genesis video obviously is at amazingmolecules.com. Now, I shot a video recently on how to simply order the product. The three-way call thing is what I'm going to talk about in a little bit. I'm going to draw your attention to what I have outlined right here. And if you, if somebody wants me to, I'll just put that in the chat bar. It's how to order the product, and it's a tutorial. It's pretty simple. Simple product order enroll tutorial. Oh, I didn't spell that right. Okay, give me a second. I'm sorry. I am not a fast typer with this. Paste, go. Okay, there we go. So that little YouTube right there, this one outlined, is like a 9-minute simple video, goes through the steps. Now, I go through the packs in the US, so, and which ones are recommended and why, and that may help you when people are saying, well, I just want to get a tube of gel. I mean, watch the video and leverage it if you want, okay? All right, let me stop sharing my screen there. Other announcements. Actually, I'll share my screen again. Someone's at the door, and dog's gonna go nuts. There we go. Okay, ateamsupport.com, and the password is associate with a capital A. If you log in there and go to events, you can see special live events. So these are happening all over the country. I put it on our Facebook group. But you can see Naples just took place. That's where that took place with the woman Daniela was talking about. That's already happened. Dallas, Texas, July 14th. Portland, Oregon. These are all with diamonds, by the way. Portland, Oregon, July 14th. Oakland, California with Danny Doyle, a triple ambassador diamond, July 21st. Seattle, Washington, Bobby Martin, July 21st, Seattle. Sarasota, Florida, and Melbourne, Florida on July 18th and 21st. Danielle Matthews will be at least one of those. Long Beach, California, which is near LA, but it's not far from San Diego. Danny Doyle, triple ambassador diamond, will be there July 22nd. Sandy, Utah, July 30th. It's Danny Doyle. Tampa, Florida. Karen Riley and Diamond Ed Weens will be there in Tampa, Florida. And obviously the convention is the big one you can see down here. And for people, let me just make this announcement regarding convention. The discounted tickets are gone. It's $299 per ticket. If you're new or a distributor is new, an associate's new within 90 days of enrolling, it's $179. However, the 10 packs, I think everybody's 10 packs are gone. They were discounted for $199 if you bought 10. If people put together groups, somebody gets 2, this person gets 3, this person's Debbie and I, if we have sets of 10, we're already set. We have our tickets. But if we put together groups of 10, we will order the tickets and you can pay us. So, scramble. If you're in this business to earn an income of significance that can change your life in some way, whether it's a passive $1,000 a month or $20,000 a week, because there are people already earning about $50,000 a week in this. Trish is probably going to do about $2 million this year. I'm sorry, $3 million. Did $2 million last year. Whatever you want, just do not miss convention. I say it every time. Every diamond says it every time. It is so important. And if it's a sacrifice to get there, money-wise, then just get engaged right now, and you can earn plenty of money to pay for your trip. Earn the money to pay for your trip. It's a tax write-off. Get there. It will sharpen everything about you in this business and will connect you with people who are going to help you build the business as well. Okay. I sent out a message about discounted hotels. The Gaylord is not cheap. That's where the event is, but there are hotels all around there. And I sent out a list with the rates, and you can bunk up with people. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you really want to change your life, just get there. Okay. Next, I usually need Debbie to keep me on track here. I want to just do some recognition, and I do not have Debbie's rank advancements. I only have mine. I don't have access to hers on my computer, on my back office. But I have access to the people that last week advanced. And so I just want to give a shout out. And some of these people, if you look at the levels on my screen, 5, 8, 11, 12, 14 levels, you can see how, the only people I really told about this were people level 1 to me, but it's amazing what happens, how this is just multiplies. But Angelique Geldof went from associate all the way to director 700 last week. Marika Jerfelt went from associate to director 300. Stefan and Jennifer Nagy went from associate to director 300. They skipped right over director. Anna Johnson went from associate to director. Ken Chow went from director 300 to director 700. Hinghua Lao went from associate to director 700. So congratulations to those people that moved up in rank. I also I'm going to let anybody else give shout outs to anybody here in a second, but I really also want to give shout outs to people that did fast forwards last week. Doing a fast forward, which is a 14-day incentive that you opt in for on your virtual office, and you to do it successfully. And when you do, they give you, it's about $400 in product and money that you earn for doing a fast forward. It's pretty remarkable. But what it is in 14 days, you enroll at least 4 associates and or preferred customers. So at least 4 associates and or preferred customers, and a minimum total of 800 points of enrollment volume. And all those people are set up on AutoShip. And so it is the way to create urgency. It's the way to build this business. And it's just do fast forward after fast forward after fast forward, and you will build a business, because you're going to get a lot of people on the product. A lot of people are going to have aha moments, and the ones who are entrepreneurial or opportunistic will say, wow, I know about something before everybody else. Okay. So is there anybody that wants to give a shout out on Debbie's team or anybody else for some accomplishments this week? Okay. Lots of things to recognize people for: making your list, making your first 3-way phone call, enrolling your first person. These are all things that we like to recognize people for. We just have limited time here. Okay, before we get to the training, I'd like to give the opportunity for anybody that would like to introduce perhaps somebody new that's on. This is the opportunity to do that, so we can get to know them and they can get to know us. Does anybody have anybody new on tonight? Or if you're new and your sponsor is not there, you can unmute your line.
Hey, David.
Hi, Carolyn.
How are you?
Good. What are you doing? You got a lot of people there.
We finished our meeting and we're all staying for the team training together.
Where are you?
We had 15 of us at our event here, you see, so we're still some of us. Some people are looking at you as they travel home in their car, but the rest of us, we start the computer up and we're all watching.
Well,
So I want to introduce Stephen and Jennifer Nagy, who you just announced went direct to 300, and this is also their first time on the call. I'm going to sign seats so they can sit down.
Well, welcome.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did we meet in Charlottesville or no? I don't remember.
We were there.
Yeah. Very good. So tell everybody about yourself so they know who you are, because obviously you're serious about this. So they'll see your name as bronze and silver and everything else as we go.
Well, I'm Steve Nagy. This is my wife Jennifer. We did go to Charlottesville. A week or two ago. Yeah, and So far, I've just seen overall improvement of my health in general. So it's a big plus for me to see that happen.
And what do you do, Steve?
I own a pest control business.
Pest control. I just called my pest control people. They came Thursday, but we still have springtails, so we're calling them again.
Yeah,
Very good. So what do you see? What do you see in Asea for yourself? Besides the product? Why the business opportunity for you?
Well, I'm used to the residual income coming in from my business. You know, we see customers every day. It's just kind of a routine thing. It's part of the business. So I see the potential of the aspects of the residual income coming in. But the bigger thing is it's just reaching out and helping people. That's kind of my main drive with this. Yeah, the extra income would be great. Being able to have a second little business on the side to help supplement some income would be great too. But my main drive is mainly just helping people.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. Jennifer, how about you? What about you?
Hi. Well, I've noticed a huge change in my life. Diagnosed 20 years ago with an autoimmune disease. And just in 2 weeks after taking the product, I just felt like a different person. And 7 weeks later, it's amazing.
Oh.
So I'm ready to share and just tell everyone.
It's fantastic. Well, thanks.
All medications. Yes.
You're off?
All medications.
Wow. So this is a call where there are no guests really. It's all associates. So you can say what you have. Would you mind sharing what your issue was or is?
Fibromyalgia, and I have bursitis. So hardly no pain. It's just amazing. After so many years of chronic pain and tenderness, fatigue, and the list goes on, I just can't believe it myself. So.
Well, she was at a point we actually filed for disability just because of her condition couldn't be fixed. It couldn't be really progressed with any doctor, medications, all these other things that they've tried. It's kind of a dead end road, and we were just frustrated with it. And when we heard about Asea and how it was working for other people, we had nothing to lose. So now we're firm believers of it, and we're ready to move forward. We're energetic with trying to spread this to others. It's bound to help millions of people.
That's wonderful. Well, welcome aboard, and who introduced it to you?
My uncle, Eddie.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Eddie?
Good to see you. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you too, buddy.
Sorry, this is my first time being on the call. I apologize, okay?
This is the first time? Well, introduce yourself then.
Hi, I'm Eddie Dean. I live here near Charlottesville, Virginia. And I just been amazed at the results that I'm seeing. As Jennifer gave her testimony, I have another niece in Florida, in Pensacola, Florida, that's seeing tremendous results. My wife has seen results. And so it's a product or nutrition supplement, just a new way of life, actually. So I'm very impressed with what's going on and all from up to the top. I'm just impressed with Mr. Curtis and all the folks such as yourself, David. Thank you so much.
Eddie, thank you. Eddie, what's your background?
I have been in the floor covering business for 30 plus years. I'm also a minister and pastor. And so I am seeing some good results as you gave me some instructions on the 23rd here to drink a half a bottle a day. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm seeing some improvements.
Oh, good. You saw some change.
Yes.
Fantastic. Are you coming to convention?
I am. Yes, sir.
Yes. Fantastic. You're going to be on a different level when you come back, my friend.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dave.
All right. You bet, Eddie. Thank you. Hi, Cindy.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
All right. What's going on?
Well, Buffy couldn't be on tonight, but I think Robin Pardos is on the call, and she has a team going. The young lady that you met, Anna, in Charlottesville, is under Robin, and I don't know if you can see her on there.
I'm not on video. And I don't
hear you.
I can't figure out how to put me on video, so I can see you all though.
All right.
Robin.
That's okay. Hi, Robin. We can hear you. So tell us about yourself, Robin.
Well, I got involved with Asea through Buffy. You were on a call with me a couple months ago or so, David.
Yeah.
And I got involved to help my daughter, who's got some issues going on, and Carolyn's actually helping with that in outside of Asea. And then my husband started taking it. So I actually haven't been taking it because we needed to get it focused on my daughter and my husband, and I was doing some other things. So I don't have a personal testimony of it, but my husband does. And he's here right now. And in fact, he's been sharing with me recently how much energy and focus he seems to have that we weren't even expecting him to have anything. And then he has a skin condition, rosacea, that usually would be much worse right now because we've lost a family member. We're under a lot of stress, family-wise and work-wise and financially. And normally his face would just be a little bit more red and inflamed. And I mean, it's still there, but it's nothing like it. It's about 50% better than what it should be under his conditions. So we're really, really excited about that. And when I started seeing some results, my friend Anna, as you met, I've known her a year and a half or so. I used to work with her, and I've seen her deteriorate on Facebook, just some of her postings, and my heart breaking for her. So she was the first person I wanted to share it with, because I thought if this stuff really works, then my friend Anna needs to get on this stuff. And she was a little reluctant at first, and apparently she had heard about it a couple of times before I brought it to her. So she thought that was sort of a God thing. So I'm really excited to have her, and she's not on the call tonight. So yeah, we're excited. And today, honestly, was my first day of really working this business all day. I've had a lot of phone calls. I have a potential prospect in the works who's actually in another multi-level marketing company, actually. And so I'm really excited to see where this company can take me and my family. And I'm just excited about all the testimonies I hear of what it can do.
Well, Robin, we're really glad you're with us. We're glad that your husband had that surprise result, kind of like when Danielle, the woman, was rubbing it on the daughter and her numbness went away after 5 years in her hand. She didn't expect it. And that's why that health benchmark form is so important. When people fill this thing out and they just track things, sometimes things go away, they figure there's no way it's going to change. But that's great. And I remember meeting Anna at the event. She was one of the 14 people that came up who had pain when I did it down there, 14 guests. And it was amazing because that's the first time I've seen that many people come up front and every single person have a result. 14 out of 14 had an amazing result. And Anna was one. And when she told me what her issue was, which was cystic fibrosis and a lot of other things, I really did not know that it would help her quickly as it did, but it did. Just the gel helped her quite a bit. And I've heard she's seeing some pretty amazing improvements in just a week or 2 weeks, and a little bit of detox with it too. But that's wonderful, Robin. Thank God you brought it to her.
Well, thanks, David, for letting me talk and for what you did for me that day when you spoke with me.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. It was a 3-way call, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Robin, because that'll lead us into the training here in a minute about 3-way calls and how important they are. Is there anybody else? Has anybody new on?
I'm not sure if my new person is on tonight or not. There's a Phyllis on the call I see, and I have a new person, Phyllis. This is Sue, and I have new person Phyllis and new person Sharon. I don't see Sharon, but I see a Phyllis on the call. I can't tell if they're what the last name of this Phyllis person is that's on the call, though.
I'm not sure.
It's my Phyllis. But she can't talk tonight. Her thing isn't working, and she can't.
Okay.
I'll introduce her next week.
All right, beautiful. All right.
Okay, it's a different one then. Okay.
And I've got this recorded, so if anybody wants the recording, then I'll put it on Debbie's Facebook group and I'll put it on my Facebook group. And that way, I mean, there's pretty amazing stories here tonight. And I think anybody watching this would certainly see that there's something going on here. This is not one of those things, it's a bit more than that. So thank you all. Anybody else have anybody new on?
Hey, David.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I do not have anyone new on, but I'm in the middle of a fast forward, and I got my third new person signed up in 6 days. I'm going to get all these new people on. It's going to, 1 week, we're going to have like 15 of them on, but no one was able to make it. But I've signed up a chiropractor, a residential realtor, and a business owner who does security systems and home theater. So working through the fast forward. I appreciate all your help today, and just very excited about the second half of the year.
Way to go, Mike. Awesome, buddy.
Thanks.
Very excited. I know you haven't gotten your tickets yet and you were looking, so maybe if you want 1 or 2 tickets, we put together a group, we can get the discount, okay?
Yep, I'm going to give you a call this week, get that done.
You got it.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for all your help.
Karen Rambit has got a beautiful background of palm trees, a beautiful sunset, and she's clapping for you, and then she says, yes, I want a ticket. So everybody email me who wants tickets so I can put together the packages of 10, okay? All right, awesome. Okay, so what I want to do is just take like a few minutes and talk about three-way phone calls. One of the things about three-ways, it's the biggest stumbling block for most people. This business is about picking up that phone and calling people, number one, which is very difficult sometimes because you don't know what you're going to say. People don't want to be rejected, all of that. What is somebody going to think? The longer you're in this business, the more events you've been to, the more stories you've seen, the more people you've helped, the more your attitude probably should be, I don't give a rat's rear end what anybody thinks. I'm calling them because they need this product or somebody they love does or the child of somebody they love does. And I don't really care what they think because they're going to find out about it anyway. And I think we all get to that point. And then that phone that feels like it's 600 pounds to call somebody, it's not so heavy anymore. But then it's a matter of what are you going to do? What are you going to say? And while they say you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, the question, it's better to ask questions, quite frankly, and get someone to commit to just watch a video. Just watch something very, very short, and just because you're asking them to, and say you need help getting the word out about something that's really very significant. What is it? It's a health breakthrough. It's redox signaling molecules. Have you ever heard of it? No. Say, well, I've seen amazing things. Just quickly tell 2 or 3 things, right? And give an example, maybe what it does for pain instantly on almost everybody. However, I'm bringing it to people that I know to build an advocacy group. And you may be interested yourself. You may see something in this and say, look, I'm interested. And maybe not, but all I want you to do is take a look at a short video and then give me a time tomorrow and we'll set a time for a follow-up and 5 minutes on the phone. That's all I want you to do. Now, that's a very simple way, one example way of doing this, but you're not explaining redox molecules. You're not explaining the health benchmark form. You're not explaining mitochondria. You're just getting someone committed to just look at information. That's it. And if they say, well, I don't have time for do anything, then you can say, well, I didn't ask you to get involved in any way in what I'm doing because there's a product and there's an opportunity here. I'm not asking you that. Did I ask you that? No. All I want you people to do is look at this because you may love somebody that really needs this. If you want to drop a few things, you may love somebody that's got, as they're aging, they have low energy. They don't sleep well. They get up at night to go to the bathroom 3 or 4 times. They have breathing issues. They take medicines for different issues, liver problems, blood sugar problems, wrinkling skin, cellulite, right? Throw a few things out. I mean, something may stick, but the point is you're not asking them, do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Just, you may know somebody. So it works. I just want you to take a look at information and I'll follow up with tomorrow and get your questions answered. And if nothing else, I just appreciate it. That's it. Okay. And that's what you do. That's an example. And then you're going to send them a short video. It could be 6 minutes, 6 reasons, along with the redox breakthrough video, just real short one. The 6 reasons one is just you're leveraging a doctor. You're leveraging someone who's on the medical professional board. I'm not selling anything. And then they're going to say, well, what is it? And then pick a little short cartoon video or something one of the videos that we have, a short one, and you've given them the information, right? You've done step one perfectly, right? Now, step two is where a lot of people fall down, right? They don't follow up properly. They never set the appointment up the day before. They just say, I'll call you in a few days or call me when you watch it. Just set the appointment at the time of that first call. And then what do? Have someone on the line with you. Don't say, I'm going to have someone on the line with me to answer your questions. If you ask permission and if you do that, over 50% of people will say, I don't want to talk to anybody else. And probably the other 50% that say, okay, by the time the phone call comes, they're not picking it up because they think someone's going to sell them something, right? So now you're down to 25% of people that are going to get a three-way. Why are three-way calls so important? And I'll go through the mechanics in a second. In fact, I'll recommend that you take a picture of this. I'll copy it and paste it. And somebody asked about the dot in the YouTube video link. That's correct, by the way. I'm going to paste this in real quick so that, okay. There, I just pasted it in there. What's on this sheet. Now, the reasons why, I'll just touch on them here, but these videos will tell you better. This is a short 8-minute one just on why three-ways are so critical. And this one has that plus real details on how to do it. But three-way calls, just so you know, they're not to convince people. They're not to slam anybody. We're not there to gang up on anybody. Three-way calls are there for a few reasons. One is social proof. It's another person's story instead of just yours, right? It's amazing what happens. You talk about your lupus, you talk about your fibromyalgia, you talk about your headaches, you talk about your sleeping problem, you talk about your wrinkles. Now, wrinkles may grab people because people are like, oh, wow, if it works for wrinkles, I'll take it. But people don't, it's your story. Maybe they believe you, maybe they don't. I don't care if they believe you or not. I mean, if they do, great. If they don't, great. You're still going to do a three-way phone call because three-way phone call is someone else's perspective. It's another story. It's social proof. It is not just about getting them to enroll. It's not just about getting them to buy product. It is another perspective. It's social proof. It's there to answer questions so you don't have to be the expert. It shows the person you're calling that you're not an expert and you don't have to be an expert to do this business because they're people to help, right? So it's demonstrating a lot of things to that prospect, let's call, that you don't have to know everything. There's help. That there are other people getting results, different results for different problems. There are other people doing it besides you. And you're modeling how to do this business, right? Because if you bring in someone without a three-way phone call, they feel like, oh, I don't need to do three-way phone calls. They can watch my video all day until they're failing in the business. And they've seen me say how critical it is than everybody else. Until they're failing in the business, they probably don't care because they're like, I don't need to introduce a stranger to my person because they don't see the value of it. But if it increases your success rate from 1 in 10 to say 5 or 6 in 10, that's huge. That's huge. So it's kind of a responsibility we have to do three-way phone calls with the people we're introducing this to because we're training them. And if we bring them in without three-way calls, we've handicapped them. We've hurt them. If they decide they want to do it as a business, they're going to duplicate what we did with them. And if we didn't do a three-way phone call, then they're not going to do them and they're going to fall flat on their face. And that hurts your business too, by the way. It hurts the people they know because they're not getting on the product. And it hurts their business and it hurts your business. So a three-way call is also, it's a training tool because when you do it, when you get your person on the phone with someone else, you're letting them communicate and you're hearing how someone who's a little more seasoned answers questions. And that's how you learn how to answer questions, right? Because you do a few of those. Well, let's say you enroll Josephine, right? And you did a three-way call with Mike Weiner and Josephine enrolls. Well, who do you think Josephine's going to use as the expert on three-ways? Maybe Mike Weiner because Mike may be in the upline, but they're going to use you. It's your responsibility to start doing three-ways. Now, if you're not connected and you're not doing anything and you're screwing around, that's fine. you're kind of playing with this. It's fine. But you bring in Josephine, then Mike Weiner's responsibility is to do three-way calls with Josephine, even though you're not really doing it. There's so many reasons why to do three ways. Then it's a matter of, okay, how do I do it? How do I do it without just, jumping somebody or feel like I'm ganging up on my person? The thing you have to keep in mind is that three-way phone call is all about that person. Say it's Josephine. It is all about getting Josephine's questions answered. It's all about Josephine may love somebody that has a disease. Josephine may be interested in the business. Josephine has pain. Whatever it is, it's all about Josephine. It's not about you. It's not about your upline. It's about her. And so there are a few key things I say in the video, and I hope you watch it because it's a way that when you call Josephine, you already have Mike Weiner on the phone as an example. He's there waiting. You've told Mike a little bit about Josephine. He's on the line. Then you say, okay, let me go get Josephine. Josephine, you bring her back in, and basically the first thing you're going to say, she picks up the phone. You don't say, hi, how are you? You don't say, how is your day going? You don't say anything. The most important thing you say is, hey, Josephine, it's David. Are we good for the 5 minutes? Because you set the appointment and you say, hey, it's 3 o'clock or I'm 1 minute late or whatever. Hey, are you good for 5 minutes? I'm sorry, I've been busy with other calls following up. Are you good for 5 minutes? Don't talk. Don't say, how are you? Don't say anything. Mike's on the phone listening. If you say, how are you? And she says, I'm in the bathroom. I've got diarrhea. I can't talk right now. Very embarrassing. What are you going to do? Okay. Well, I got Mike Weiner on the phone here. What? Or, how is it going? Well, I think Bob's been cheating on me. I think I'm going to divorce him. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Listen, I have Mike Weiner on the phone. So don't ask how they're doing yet. Not yet. Not yet. Just say, do you have the 5 minutes? Another reason you say, do you have 5 minutes is because if you say, hey, Josephine, listen, I've got someone on the phone I want you to talk to who's an expert in this. Now, if she doesn't want to talk to somebody, she can say, I can't talk right now. I'm busy. She can run away. But if you say, are you good for the 5 minutes because we set this time? And she says, yes, you have Josephine locked in for 5 minutes. Josephine is going to hear Mike's voice. Josephine is going to get third-party validation. Now, she's either going to be open to more information, to trying the product, she's going to have questions, or she's not. But what you've done is you've set it up so that she's going to speak with somebody, whether she wants to or not. Now it's Mike's responsibility, and the way you introduce Mike, to do it in an ethical, respectful way, right? You don't just say, you good for 5 minutes? Yeah, good. Listen, I have my business partner on the line, Mike Weiner, is very successful in the business. Mike, Josephine, Mike. Yeah, that's very disrespectful. That's very rude. That's the way people do things wrong. So if you want to do it right, then commit to get good at doing this. There's a transition, right? There's a handoff. And again, it's all about helping Josephine. So the best way to do it is when she says, I'm good for 5 minutes, don't ask how you are because Mike's on the phone. Say, great, listen, I know your time is short and I've got to follow up with somebody else in a few minutes. Okay, so that shows Josephine that you're busy. That shows Josephine that you're doing this in a limited amount of time and that anybody can do it. If she decides to do it, it's not going to take an hour to do three-way phone calls. And it's also showing Josephine that you want her to know, but you don't need her to know because you're following up with a lot of people, right? So that's another little nuance that you can kind of master there. It's not a big deal, but it's a lot of this is we want Josephine to know about this, but we don't need her to know about it, right? So it's like I only got 5 minutes, and listen, I was very fortunate to grab someone to be on the line with us. He's helping me with follow-ups, and I can't answer all the questions because I don't know everything. I told you what this product did for me. I saw what it does, but Mike Weiner is an expert. He's been involved with this much longer than I have. He's had amazing results himself. He's helping me help a lot of people, and he's helping me follow up. He's just a really, really nice guy. So you edify Mike, the expert, as an expert, more an expert than you, helping you help a lot of people, and a nice guy or nice girl. Those are the three things. We all need to learn to edify people. When you're going to introduce someone at an event, Don't just say, hey, this is Mike Weiner, or hey, this is David Silverman. Bring them up and edify. Edify the person you're bringing them to as an expert and a nice person, and edify your person as a good friend or whatever, caring person. Remember, edifying people is really critical in this business, right? And so that's what you do. So Mike, I really appreciate you being on the call. This is my good friend Josephine, and I sent her the 6 Reasons video and the Redox Breakthrough video. And I really don't know what part of it she'd be interested in, if it's health, anti-aging, or the opportunity side of it. I really don't know, but I'm glad that you guys could chat. Mike, Josephine, Mike, right? That's the way you hand it off. And then you let Mike talk and say, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. And hey, how do you know Josephine? So yes, as Josephine said, I've been involved with this for a bit. My initial reason for looking at it, and Mike would say my diabetes. A friend of mine brought it to me. What part of it is of interest to you, Josephine? Is it health issues for you, for someone you love, anti-aging like wrinkles and cellulite? Always mention that, especially to women. Always mention wrinkles and cellulite. Athletic performance, prevention, or hey, it's patented. The opportunity. We all saw that it worked, and we decided to share it, and there's an opportunity. Which of those reasons is of most interest to you, Josephine? Mike didn't say anything rude. He just asked. He postured for me. If I have him on the line, he's posturing like, hey, it does all these things that David must have told you about. So why are you interested? And then he's just going to be quiet, and so are you. You do not say a word. The only time you're going to talk again is if Mike asks you a question or Josephine asks you a question. And all this stuff's in the video, the YouTube video. But he's there to find out what problem does she want solved, and to find out if she's open to an opportunity. If she says, I'm not interested in anything, he'll just say, that's cool. Hey, look, out of curiosity, why aren't you interested after what David's told you? Well, I don't know. I just read it was just salt water. See, that's the power of having the 3-way. Josephine might not have told me that she read it was salt water because she doesn't want to hurt my feelings, but she's going to tell Mike, because Mike's just objectively, she's not going to hurt his feelings. She would hurt mine maybe by saying it. And then see, that's how you get past these objections. Mike's going to answer it. Say, hey, I kind of know what you mean. When I looked at this when it was brought to me and I wanted it to help my blood sugar, I read that some people saying it was salt water too. So I know what you think, how you feel. Can I tell you what I found? If she says no, they'll say, okay, no problem. Look, other people will come to you with this, and maybe you can just promise David that when you hear about it, and some people you see their wrinkles are gone, or they're sleeping through the night, or they're not taking medicines anymore, or their child is in mainstream school again, or something. Maybe you can promise David you'll come back to him. Is that cool? Great. Listen, nice meeting you. And then he'll say, David, give me a call when you're done with Josephine so we can make those other follow-ups. Take care, Josephine. Mike hangs up. Now, Josephine's going to be asking me questions because he postured. He doesn't care if she says yes or no. We're moving on. The conversation that happens with me and Josephine is going to be very different than if I called her to follow up and by myself and she said, I'm not interested, right? Because you don't want to hurt my feelings. So 3-ways are critical. I hope this came through as to why, and those videos I pasted in there in the chat will be helpful, I think. So anyway, it's about 9 o'clock Eastern here. Does anybody have any last minute questions or comments or announcements they want to make before we wrap it up? Could be about anything we talked about or anything else. And Debbie will be back next Monday, by the way. Anybody?
David, this is
Yes.
Sue. I had put a question up about how did you know how to select your maintenance level if you don't have any significant health issues, that your health challenges that you're fighting. How do you know how to select your maintenance level?
Your maintenance level for, I mean, the amount that you're drinking?
For your redox.
I think it all goes to this, and it's an individual thing. Let me pull it up. Where's, oh, shoot. I think it all comes down to, well, I don't see it on this computer here. Yeah, I think it all comes down to this. You know, when people benchmark everything, every little thing, very few people are perfect on all these things here, right? So if they're starting at 4 ounces a day, and after a week they're not seeing changes, they double to 8, and then they see changes. It's like, wow, okay, it's working. I have them stay at 8 ounces a day for a week at least, and then start decreasing and see if they can go down an ounce a day for a week, and then go down another ounce a day for a week. They're so thrilled when they see the results that it's worth it to them to spend the money if they had to, but it's like, let's see if we can get you back, because we just got you over the hump, and maybe your body doesn't need that much. I hate to see you waste money. If you need it, then it's certainly worth it. So that's kind of what I do.
David, Denny Robinson posted a video by Aaron Kaufman on Asea Healthy Self.
Yep.
And Aaron is standing out, looks like he's standing out in the country, and he's talking about a conversation he had with Gary Samuelson about this. So it was just yesterday morning she posted it, so I'm not sure how deep it is by now, but it was a good conversation by Aaron Kaufman.
Well, let's see if I let's see if I share my screen. We can find it real quick, because that's part of our toolbox, and it's nice to know what's in our toolbox. If you don't know what's in it, then you can't possibly use the tool when you need it. So it was in United or Healthy Self?
Healthy Self, posted by Denny Robinson, and it was Aaron Kaufman, interview with Aaron Kaufman.
Okay, so let's just put in here. I don't know what's going on here. Search group. What just happened? Darn it. Hang on 1 second. Search this group. I'm going to put in Aaron Kaufman. Is that it?
Hold on. It's a picture of him standing there with the mountains behind him.
Let's see.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so there's a 2-minute video.
Yep.
Probably worth watching. If you want, I will. It's a Vimeo, so I can also paste it in there. Okay, so I'll put it in the chat. Dr. Kaufman. 2-minute video. Yeah, so there are very good videos being posted there by a lot of doctors. I'm just one of them, but I just put it there if people want it. Anybody else have a question or comment, anything they want to share before we wrap it up?
David, I have a question.
Sure.
I was looking to figure out how to search that same Facebook page on specific issues that are tied to prospects. So somebody dealing with Asperger's, or kid who's dealing with learning disabilities or ADHD or rheumatoid arthritis. And I know that we're not disease specific. So sometimes it's hard to find postings that are specific to those kinds of things. Is there a better way to do that?
So have you seen this site, redoxexperiences.com?
I have not.
Okay, so this is on the Winfrastructure document.
Okay, I just haven't taken a look at this one yet. Okay.
Yeah, so take a look at that document, and that's like the toolbox all in one place, including the Facebook group, which I'll show you how to find stuff. But redoxexperiences.com, the password is associate with a capital A.
Okay.
And when you log in, you can find very specific things, because if you go to A through D, you can
awesome.
Asthma, autism, autoimmune, back pain, blood test, carpal tunnel, Crohn's disease, COPD, S through Z, everything. Right now, let's say I click stroke. Some of them are written, as you see. Let's see, mental illness. Let's see what comes up. And sometimes you might have to look under depression and mental illness. Sometimes they're let's see, fibromyalgia, that could be under pain, but there's an audio one, right? There's a written one. So that's one thing. On Healthy Self, if you go to search this group, right where it says search this group. If you type in seizures as an example, there's Shannon. She's on the call right now. She's talking about her child, her son with seizures. People share, it pulls up that key word, right?
Right, and I've been doing that, but what I've found that if I want to search AD, attention deficit disorder, nothing's coming up. If I trying to find something, Lyme's disease, I have to put in tick. That helped, but I can't seem to put specific diseases in there and them come up very well.
Well, not this. The site's only been up for about 6-7 months, so not everything is going to be there.
I see.
But think of other words like spectrum. Let's say for autism.
Okay.
You put up spectrum, I don't know. Mental illness, age of 4.5. So sometimes you got to play with the words.
Right. Well, I just wanted to see if I was missing something. That's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I didn't know about that other site. That's useful.
Yeah. And email me if you need something you can't find. I'll see if I can find it.
Is there a protocol as to utilizing that info from there? Can we copy and paste it to someone?
No, there's a very specific way to use it, and it's called ATM, and it's on that Winfrastructure document. You have that document?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what you do is, it stands for add tag message. So what you do is you add someone to the group, and then you tag them. So let's say it was this one, which is on, if this is the one, then you go to comment and you type their name in. Right.
Just so you know, I know this part. I was talking about the Redox Experiences website.
Oh no, that one. No. You can just send somebody there, but you don't post that anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just find one and say, when do you have 5 minutes when you're at your computer? Okay, I'm going to call you. You call them, you send them to the site and say, I want you to scroll to that and read that one, because you've already read it. Just say, go ahead and read it. I'll wait. And that's the way you know they're looking at it, and they'll ask you questions right then. That's the way I recommend doing it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, everybody, I'm going to stop the recording here. Hang on.